Hey everyone, thanks for joining us right here on Midday Kentucky. We were just complaining that the popcorn wasn't on the table as we speak.
What were we thinking?
What were we thinking?
I can't wait to try it. It's
Everyone knows I can't wear my shirts anymore because I got so fat. So I've got to wear T-shirts.
You are not
and I'm
fat.
just adding more food to the system.
You do have a shirt on today.
No, I do have a shirt on. Exactly, because it was a little tight, the other one. So,
I feel your pain.
Yeah, we feel the pain. And I swear, I'm not getting any thinner. I go to that darn gym every other day, and I'm hitting the 1,000 calories.
Yes.
But Katie said to me the other day, which is sort of true, she said, but we still eat the same.
Yeah, that's my problem. I work out, I run all the time, but I have such an issue getting my diet under control. I know you can relate.
It's killing me.
Yeah.
As my stomach just wobbled as I went like that. Okay. Hey, what about yesterday out at Mr. Cuts? At a room
that
full
was
of.
awesome.
You know what was really funny? Because off camera, I asked some of the guys what they wanted to talk about. And you know what they mainly said that they talk about at the barbershop? Is their wives.
Yeah.
I said, well, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about men's health.
Okay.
And then I said, actually, that is men's health because it's a mental issue.
Mental.
Do you know what I mean? But that's what they were talking about mainly.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about that a little bit, but then I thought they'll probably get divorced by the time they get home. Do you know what I mean? They've gone into the barber shop. I've stuck a microphone in front of their face and said, you know, so what's wrong with your wife? Do you know what I mean? Why are you always bitching
I would not
about
recommend
them?
that.
No, and that's what I thought. So I held back everyone. How are we?
You don't sound like you're holding back
I
at all.
did. No, I did.
Okay.
Hey, next Friday, which is going to be absolutely fun, we're taking the whole show and we're going out to a I say it wrong. A rodeo.
Yes.
Out to a rodeo. The whole show is going to be out there live.
It's going to be so
We're
much
going to give you
fun.
more
Can't
information
wait.
about
can't
it.
wait.
But I just got an email. I had to tell you this. I just got an email saying, "Hey Troy, would you like to ride a bull?" And I thought,
I think I'd be too scared.
this brings back the days. Do you know what I mean? Of my rodeo days.
The glory days.
Of the glory days. You know, I can lasso a pig in 2 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we're going to get a chance to see this live on television.
It just made me laugh when I saw that
love
email.
it.
Anyway, everyone, here's a little story. A shoe company in the UK called Shoe Garden is stating that their range of lounge footwear is so comfortable that wearing these slippers can boost your mood and work productivity. Here's the thing. Do you think, now Katie, I know how you feel about me making you wear a high heel, okay? Do you think you should be able to wear these type of shoes to the office?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe not those, you know, bright pink. Those kind of look like slippers. But the previous ones, yeah, like that.
Well, it
sure. Or
depends
in black with just your dress pants and a shirt.
It
Why
depends
not?
on what job you have, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you work in a cubicle in an office all day, I see nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest, 9 times out of 10, if you do come into my office, I normally have my shoes off. That is the truth.
Yeah.
But I also know when I was in Salt Lake, in Australia, we never, around the house or out in the garden or the paddock, you know, we would never wear shoes. So, and I remember my boss said to me, he said, Troy, you can't walk around the station with no shoes on. It's just that when you're sitting at your desk and you don't have your shoes on, it's just normal, the feeling of not having shoes on. Do you know what I mean? So I would get up and start walking around the station with no shoes on. And in the end, he bought me a pair of slippers from Costco. And I was so offended. Do you know what I mean? And every 6 months, he'd buy me another pair because I'd wear them out. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
What do you think? Like, you
I
wear
love
flats.
it. I always want to wear flats, and especially in the morning show when you can't see my shoes, I'd love to just throw on some slippers.
Absolutely.
But some of those I think really look like actual shoes. And Eric, who used to be our meteorologist, wore some sort of slipper-esque
Well, he says he
shoe.
was a meteorologist.
He was a scientist.
Those were some slipper-esque shoes in the morning, and no one ever knew. And when they were black, they went with his
Oh, yeah, but
dress
we used
pants,
to give him heaps about that.
We'd laugh at him, but I think you can get away with it.
I see that, and I just want to say, you know,
Yes.
it looks completely different when a gal puts on, you know, a 3-inch heel. It just completely changes their look and their outfit, and I don't know.
Well, it does. I mean, it goes from
like
professional
flats.
to comfy. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's that type of difference, and you know, I mean, I think there's a time and place for slippers at work, though.
All right.
I do.
Okay. Well,
I
maybe
think it
we
depends
should
on
have
the rest of your look. If you
right.
look put together and you have some just plain black slippers, that's fine. But if you're wearing slippers and something that might be pajamas, that's probably crossing the line.
Well, it's funny because the other night I went to an event and I have a pair of, it's pretentious, a particular brand of shoe, and it's a suede house slipper, and it had skull and crossbones on it, and they really are a house shoe. They're more of a slipper rather than, but you wear them out. And someone said to me, "Oh, look, you've got slippers on." So offended about that. You know what I mean? But they truly are. But they're more of an evening suede, but they look like slippers.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I like it.
And I don't know, I think you can wear a well-designed slipper. Maybe.
Can I, if I order those, can I wear them on this show?
Anyway, everyone, I want you to take a look at this video. Let me just tell you about it first.
Okay.
A mother from Liverpool, England, is speaking out after a video of her dragging her child across a pavement went viral about 2 weeks ago. Now, take a look at this video. Though the child seems unfazed, this is still causing a lot of outrage. Now, we've blurred out the face of the child. The child is 4. Now, initially when you see this as a side view, as an example, or you know, someone just not knowing the situation, what do you see?
What is that she's dragging her with?
The child.
No, but what's she
No,
holding?
she's not holding their arm. She's
No, that's
holding
a cord, like a little body brace. You know how you have those body braces put on kitties so they don't run around Disneyland?
Oh, like a little
disturbing
monkey
the
backpack
adults.
or a leash.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
like a little leash type
Yeah,
thing.
like they had on Modern Family.
So, okay, so obviously she's having issues with this child.
Yeah.
Evidently the child probably, I'm assuming, watching the video, it looks like the child had a temper tantrum and decided not to cooperate and didn't want to walk, and so that's what the mother's doing. She's got places to go and things to do, evidently, and she's dragging the child.
The mother came out on English TV saying the child's 4 and that he has autism, and that he completely shuts down when he's around crowds. And it's the only way she can move him. Like,
she can put him in a stroller.
That's my point.
She can put him in a stroller. So, you know, I mean, obviously, I have some experience with this with an autistic child.
Exactly.
And, you know, there are definitely times where they throw down, and either one, you have to be patient and wait for them to kind of download. They can't jump from one emotion to the other as quickly as we can. So they have to have time to kind of download themselves, and you have to allow them that time. And so you either have to be patient and wait, or you can put them in a stroller. Dragging them on a sidewalk is completely not appropriate, in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean,
well, yes, we all know that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you know
What
what I
about parents, you know, other kids who maybe kids who are at the same age, 4 or 5, that see that on the sidewalk?
Right.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And him on a leash, it's just unbelievable.
Let's move on to this one. I've forgotten whose story this is. I think it's Miss Katie. And we're talking about swearing in front of children. And I just want to say, what do you class as swearing?
Well, that's kind of what the story's about. So there's this
is?
video going viral of a youth hockey coach, early teens, and he was a volunteer coach. This is in Colorado, and a video surfaced of him giving a profanity-laced pep talk to the team before the game. You know, F the other team, F their coaches,
no,
et cetera, et cetera. All this outrage, and most of the parents glad he's fired. Some others have said this is what you'll be around in the real world. They should experience this type of language. I don't know. I don't like someone in a source of authority using words like that directed at children. I think that's different than overhearing adults using that language to other adults.
Exactly.
Which I think is still wrong, but I think in that case, then you can say, oh, you're just exposing them to the world. But Lisa, what would you think if you saw one of your boys, this was filmed in the locker room, and witnessing that?
Yeah, I would not. I don't know if he should lose his job necessarily, but definitely
Was
someone
he
should
fired,
talk
by the way?
He was volunteer coach.
Right.
Okay. But do you think it's ever okay to curse in front of children?
No, I don't. And I think most of the times that I've overheard that, because I actually have overheard a curse word or two from coaches, even at a young age, you know, with Harrison. I would say it was probably age 6 or 7-year-olds. But sometimes it just slips out, and you could tell that he was genuinely sorry. He apologized to the team, and he said it would never happen again, and it didn't. So, you know, it does happen, but that was his motivation. I mean, he was like using it as a motivator for children. I don't like that. I think it sets a bad example for the children. I think that a lot of times they emulate what they see with adults and coaches and teachers and whatnot and parent and guardian figures. I just think you need to really reel that in.
I agree. I think also there comes a point where when you use the profanity in the manner that he was about another team, that's showing that it is okay to belittle another team member or other people. So when he's saying those words about that other team, like F the other team or whatever he was doing, I just don't think it's the right way to be talking about people anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you know,
it does. I just, you know, I agree with Katie, though. Adults, you know, if they're adults playing the sports and they're together, you know, in a locker room and that talk is happening, they're adults. But with a youth
Are you pulling a Donald Trump here with what was allowed to be talked about in a locker room? That's locker room talk.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with Katie on that. I think for youth, you have to have a different standard.
I got
for
you. Something that could turn you off your dinner, people. Who knows? Or you might be just wanting to go and make a reservation now. It's something that's new that's popping up in France.
Yeah, and Katie, you were just there and you just missed it.
Oh, yeah.
No, I could have gone.
That's why she went.
Well, okay.
Yeah, for the grand opening.
Yeah.
She was there. France is quite the tourist destination, and now even more so with the coming of Au Naturel, the first nude restaurant that opened to the public last week.
Talk about a mouthful.
Unbelievable. So, yeah, they said, according to the local paper Le Parisien, the first nude restaurant has opened, and it's already a big hit with a lot of the naturist fans. So,
is this, I'm just wondering if as producers, is this a picture from the actual restaurant or just one that we, oh right, okay. That's not a picture from the actual restaurant. Because I just thought to myself, okay, alrighty.
Well, here's what they said about the restaurant. They said it can...
Wait, where did we find that picture?
I don't know. Eating Anonymous on .com?
I did not submit the picture, I promise. But yeah, so it seats 40 diners, and you can buy meals that are around $35, right? So you walk into the restaurant, you have to take your clothes off before going into the main dining area.
Lord.
So you have to take your clothes off and put them in wardrobes, and then you can enter the main dining room.
Listen, I was at Tony's last night, okay?
Is that a nude restaurant?
No, but I don't want to see, I think there would have been 150 people in there, it was so packed. I don't want to walk into a restaurant and sit there saying, I'll order my beef medium over rare whilst I'm sitting there completely naked and drop a bit of mustard somewhere where it shouldn't be. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you see someone there trying to clean it all. Look, it's too much.
Well, and I just, the thought too, I mean, not only are you eating naked in front of other people, but you also, after you leave the table, then the bussers have to come over and clean.
Yeah, I think it's gross, but I like that they have that because some people are into that lifestyle. I would never want to go eat
really
there.
Are.
Also, that sounds like a really expensive restaurant, so I would not pay $35 to eat there. But
$35 is
for one entree?
It just set up for a meal. Meals were around $35.
Well, that's probably, is it euro or?
I don't know.
It probably
It didn't state
so
euro.
then like $45.
Yeah, I was going to say it goes up. I just
better
think,
include the cleaning fee.
Tell us what you think. All I can see is I've said to everyone on this table and to all our viewers, imagine going there on a first date and you order the spaghetti, like I tell everyone not to do when you go out on a date. It's going to be all over you.
They're into that naturistic lifestyle review. It said I think it's
Well,
cool.
and London has a nude restaurant
But
as
could
well.
you imagine going to, like, think
No,
about it.
no.
I call you out on a date. It's a blind date. I'm into the nudist thing, and I take you to that restaurant as the first date. I would die.
I can't even imagine.
Tell us what you think. Head over to our Midday Kentucky Facebook page. Tell us whether, you know, you'd sit at a restaurant. Look, it's too much to even think about, everyone. I'm going to tell you about this. Popcorn Paradise is up next after the break. Plus, later on, we'll see what's going on at Peggy's Gift. She's got 2 tables full of them, everyone. Let's see what she's got. Back after this break, everyone.